Hello there. Thanks for joining me for another edition of the show. That's another installment of your sports business show, your Saraway Sports Business Show on television. My name is Jide Olanero. On the show today, we will be looking at stories and breaking the story as far as the Olympic is concerned. And on the show, on the dugout segment, we have another woman, this time around, joining us from Nairobi, Kenya, because it is Women's Month. So we're still celebrating women, those doing great things as far as business, sports business is concerned. We're going to a short break, and when we come back, it will be time for the business news.
Fantastically finished.
All right, now to the news. Overseas spectators will not be permitted to attend this summer's rearranged Olympic and Paralympic Games in Tokyo, officials have confirmed. An announcement was made following a meeting of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, International Paralympic Committee, IPC, Tokyo Metropolitan Government, the Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee, and the Government of Japan on the 20th of March. The decision, which was not unexpected, is due to the continued uncertainty amid the COVID-19 pandemic, with international travel restricted and variant coronavirus strains emerging. French national federations have reportedly agreed solidarity contributions to opt out of wearing Le Coq Sportif kits at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. According to French newspaper L'Equipe, the French Football Federation, French Athletics Federation, French Handball Federation, and the French Basketball Federation will all use their independent kit suppliers at the Games. Paris 2024, the French National Olympic and Sports Committee and French Paralympic and Sports Committee agreed a wide-ranging rights deal with Le Coq Sportif last March. French sports federations were permitted to retain their own equipment suppliers for Olympic or Paralympic competition if they wished to do so, subject to the payment of a contribution to a solidarity fund that will benefit federations that require support. 4 federations have taken this option. L'Equipe reported that the FFF, FFFA, FFFHB, and the FFB will each pay €400,000 into the Solidarity Fund. Zenit St. Petersburg are offering free COVID-19 vaccines to supporters attending their home matches for the rest of the season. The reigning Russian Premier League champions have offered to inoculate all visitors to the Gazprom Arena who are over the age of 18 with Sputnik V vaccine. And still talking football, FIFA has confirmed that its football clearinghouse will begin handling transfer-related payments from 2022 with algorithms under active consideration as a means of determining players' market value. It has also said that reforms to the way agents can operate and be remunerated will be in place by July 2022. That's the news. We're going to break, and when we come back, it will be time for our dugout segment where we'll be talking to a sports management consultant all the way from Nairobi, Kenya.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back. Still Sports Exchange, your number one, your go-to sports business show. And today we're still in the spirit of celebrating women. It's still the Women's Month, and we'll be going all the way to Nairobi, where we'll be talking to a sports management consultant. She is the founder and CEO of Sports Connect Africa. Let's join Cynthia Mumbo all the way in Nairobi today. Cynthia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you? How's everything in Nigeria?
Yeah, Nigeria is fine. I want to believe same. Nairobi is also doing great today.
Yeah, the weather is lovely here today.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, today we're looking at, because we are still celebrating women this month, and today we'll be looking at sports management and the woman factor. Looking at your CV, massive CV, let me say massive CV you've got here, Cynthia, and with all the things that you've been able to do for yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate I appreciate that. Just a passion that I have, I guess.
Yeah, you have your hands in all the pies. If you ask me, from football to basketball, and let me ask you, sports management, and a woman, in that terrain, how's it been for you?
Well, I mean, I didn't go into it thinking that I'm a woman, so I do what I do because I think I'm capable, but it's not necessarily been easy because, I, the system is very male dominated, but really that doesn't stop me. That's not, I don't, it's those things that stop my mind, okay, I'm a woman and I'm in this space. I'm just Cynthia, and I'm in the sports space, and I do what I can with the capabilities that I have.
Wow, fantastic! And of course, looking at you're a member of. At some point, there you were an executive committee member of the Kenya Basketball Federation. Even at a point, you contested for the presidency of that particular federation. What was the motivation?
My motivation was the possibilities and the opportunities that basketball has to create for young people in our country, and really just the economic opportunities that basketball has to create. I've been in basketball.
There is a problem in Africa, and generally, I don't know, because I can speak for what obtains in Nigeria. I don't know much of what is happening in Kenya. There's this feeling that sport is not seen as business, and this is your terrain. You live it, you eat it, and what is the terrain like when you look at the fact that in Africa we don't really see sport as business?
It's a cultural thing. In Swahili, we say sport is mchezo, and mchezo literally translates to playing, And in Africa, we look at playing as just that. It's the things that kids do. They just play. So also, for the longest time, sport was left for those people who didn't have corporate job. You leave work at 2 p.m. to go and play sport, or at 3 p.m. to go and train. And so sport was looked down upon. It was, I mean, I've even had conversations with guys who are a little older now, and their conversation with me has always been, why do these young people think that they ask for so much money, to be paid in sport today? When back in my day, we used to play for passion. And I'm like, passion doesn't pay. And the world has changed, So culturally, we still have a very big gap around how we view sports. But it's changing gradually, when we see our stars, making it out there in the West. The thing now is, how do we create opportunities locally? And opportunities just can't be created for the athletes. You have to have an ecosystem, a supporting system. You have to have marketers. You have to have administrators. You have to have a strategic team or whatever that really operationalizes sports as a business.
Okay. You were saying something about the fact that when I asked you the question about being a woman in this ecosystem, And you said you don't see yourself as a woman. You just go there, grab the opportunity, or give a fight as is required. What about women who don't have this kind of mindset? How do we work it out?
Well, I think it's a step-by-step process. I believe as one woman who's already doing what I'm doing, then I am I could be a mentor to women who want to get into sports, and I do know several women who are now, getting in there and doing their thing around sports. But beyond that, platforms like yours and other different media platforms, we need to speak to the women. We need to speak to girls and tell them that opportunity is not going to come to you. You have to reach out and be confident to know that, if you have to jump 10 hurdles, jump the 10 hurdles, but nothing stops you from doing what it is that you want to do.
All right. Okay, looking at FIBA Africa, for example, I know that you've had, of course, you have one or two things to do in FIBA Africa. Of course, you are a member of the board of advisors of the World Football Summit, and vis-a-vis, let's look at CAF, for example. Where you look at the ESCO, maybe you have two women, FIBA, same. And how do you think we can change this, really?
Well, again, I go back to where we're from. Culturally, women are expected to be someplace, but my encouragement to women is for women to stand. What has happened generally is, I don't know whether it's men or women, but society expects to sort of reward a woman in a place. But what I encourage women to do is to stand up and be counted. I know it's not easy, and I don't want to underestimate, the challenges and what that means, but we have to start from somewhere. My conversation is, we reach out to CAF, we reach out to FIBA Africa, we reach out to FIBA and all these other organizations and say, hey, we are women and we're not begging for a place, but these are our capabilities and would like to stand in tandem against the men.
All right, let's look out. Let's come down to Sport Africa, which is your baby as the CEO. How's it been like? What are you cooking, or should I say, what's the next project?
We are currently working on a couple of consultancies. One with a French Ligue 1 club and with a team in the English Premier League. It's not easy because the businesses, the sports businesses there, the teams and the clubs and stuff at that level understand their value. So anytime they're requesting for partnerships and things like that, they have been able to clearly define their value proposition. And so being able to have those conversations with African organizations is quite a challenge, but an exciting one. So I'm hoping that we can be able to cross some good bridges as we move forward. We're also working on we had put it on a break. Unfortunately, I lost my dad, so we had to put some stuff on break. But we're coming back, and we will be working on a networking platform, the Africa Sports Business Mixer. And another platform where we want to, where we will be showcasing sports business executives from across Africa, whether they're in the diaspora or here, so that we can encourage other Africans to, connect and see what's going on and be encouraged, and also to network. Our business is really strongly the business of networking, so it's very important for us to create a platform where we can open up opportunities for.
One thing again is the fact that you're in Kenya, where it is the sport of the long distance race is a big thing in your part in East Africa, and there are lots of global brands. I don't know whether the corporate community in Kenya really are using people like you to tap into, to connect to those global icons, like the sports men and women that are in Kenya.
Yes, they are. Eliud Kipchoge is currently working with Isuzu. and there's this lady, I forget, 800 meters runner. Her name escapes me, sorry, but she's working with Stanbic Bank. So the companies are working with, currently working with Kenyan local stars. It's taken a while, I mean, for them to see this value and for them to work with these stars. But we're now beginning to see these brands connect with local stars who have international reach.
All right, back to the fact that you threw your hat into the ring for the Kenya Basketball Federation presidency. What are the lessons learned for you?
That was a very big risk. I was telling you earlier. I apparently learned that I'm the first woman in Africa to attempt that feat in any federation from across the continent.
Wow.
That was pretty huge. I didn't expect that. But that was pretty huge. The lessons for me were, one, it's possible. I mean, considering I started 7 days before the election and I lost by less than 10 votes, I believe it was 57 to 42 or something like that. It was very minimal in terms of numbers. I think nine votes. And for me, what that taught me is it's capable. But the other thing is planning is very critical, and it's really important to throw yourself out there. The change that you want is not going to come, or the change that we want is not going to come by us critiquing only. It's important for us to take a stand and to be counted.
All right. Yeah, let's now still talk about basketball. The men basketball team of Kenya qualified for the AfroBasket, but fortunately they had a woman who was in charge. And let's look at the women too. What are the plans? Of course, because I know that this is one other thing you should be doing as you focus on getting that particular slot that you are aiming for.
Interestingly, the women's team has always done better than the men's team. And, this just shows you, well, we've not had a lot of, noise around the women's team. And maybe that's why the rest of Africa doesn't know about that, But, the women's team, I believe there's a lot of work being done around them.
Let's talk about Olympics now. The Olympics, the committee, they host the local organizing committee of the Japan 2020 Olympics, Tokyo 2020, I beg your pardon, just announced that no foreign spectators. And you know what that means for those who are in the hospitality business? How do you think they will be feeling now, especially those who have invested in the hospitality business?
Well, times they're not normal. I mean, the losses that entrepreneurs and businesses have incurred because of the COVID-19 situation is very, very high. And, just the fact that the athletes are going is even a miracle in itself. So it's very difficult to really sit and speak on this particular case, but I want to believe that it is what it is. International travel now is practically impossible. Maybe they might change their mind a little bit later if they come and say, if you have a COVID certificate or this and that. But going by what we've had over the last 1 year, it's very painful for businesses. But it's either they agree and we have higher cases, or just the athletes go in and the rest of the world can watch the games, like we're watching the EPL and we're watching, all these other sports without spectators. But considering the Olympics is one of those sports where you have people traveling, if anything, I think the only other the only other event that you can equate to this is the Football World Cup, where you have people traveling from all over the world en masse to go and watch athletes. So it's a difficult difficult situation, but in this case, I think it's the right thing, and it's the only thing that can be done. It's very sad, but I imagine that they've really thought hard about making that decision.
Wow. Cynthia, I must confess, I wish we could go on and on and on. I really enjoyed your insight into some of these things, and all I want to do is just to wish you all the best and hope very soon, just like the name, Sports Connect Africa, we will connect when things are normal.
Thank you very much, Ida. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and to the viewers. Thank you very much.
Keep flying. Yes, that was the founder and CEO of Sports Connect Africa, a Kenya-based sports management consultant, Cynthia Mombo. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, the program continues.
Fantastically finished.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of your Saraway Sports Business Show. Don't forget, our social media handles are there for you to interact with us. On Twitter, it is at Sport Exchange 24. On Facebook, it is Sport Exchange 24. And you can also watch a repeat of this program on our YouTube channel. Until I come your way next week, it is Best of Sports. And remember, sports is business.